Merry Christmas, Bob! A merrier Christmas, Bob Cratchit, than I have given you in many a year. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone. Marley was dead to begin with. There is no doubt that Marley was dead. Now this must be distinctly understood, or nothing wonderful can come from the story I'm about to relate. There are many things from which I have derived good, by which I have not profited. I dare say Christmas among the rest. But I am sure with all my heart that it is a good time, a kind, pleasant, forgiving time, the only time I know of in the whole calendar of the year when men and women seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely and see those below them as if they really were fellow passengers to the grave and not another race of creatures bound on other journeys. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good and will do me good, and I say, God bless it! You're quite the powerful speaker, sir. It's a wonder you don't go into Parliament. Oh, don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow. I am sorry with all my heart to find you so resolute, but as I have made my trial in homage to the season, I will keep my Christmas spirit to the last, and therefore, Uncle, a Merry Christmas, good afternoon, and a Happy New Year, good afternoon! Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Do I have the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley? Mr. Marley's been dead these 7 years. He died 7 years ago this very night. No doubt his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner. At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute. Are there no prisons? Oh, yes, plenty of prisons. And the union workhouses are still in operation. Yes, still I wish I could say they were not. The treadmill and the poor law are still in full vigor. Both very busy, sir. I was afraid, from what you had said at first, that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course. I'm very glad to hear it. You'll want all day tomorrow, I suppose? Oh, if quite convenient, sir. Well, it's not convenient, and it's not fair. If I was to stop you half a crown, you'd think yourself ill-used, I'll be bound. Oh, it's only once a year, sir. A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day. Be here all the earlier next morning. Oh, I will be, sir. Thank you, sir. Oh, and a Merry Christmas, sir. Ah! Now, it is a fact that there was nothing at all particular about the knocker on Scrooge's door, except that it was very large. But this evening, Scrooge, having his key in the lock of the door, saw in the knocker not a knocker, but Marley's face. It had a dismal light about it, and it looked at Scrooge as Marley used to look, with its ghostly spectacles turned up upon its ghostly forehead. Its hair was curiously stirred as if by breath or hot air, and though the eyes were wide open, they were perfectly motionless. That and its livid color made it horrible. As Scrooge stared fixedly at this phenomenon, it was a knocker again. Hold on still. I won't believe it. Scrooge! What do you want with me? Much! Who are you? In life I was your partner, Jacob Marley. Humbug! You don't believe in me? No, I don't. You may be an undigested bit of beef, a pot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of an underdone potato. There's more of gravy than of grave about you, whatever you are. Oh! What do you want with me? Man of worldly mind, do you believe in me or not? me, why do spirits walk the earth? And why do they come to me? It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men. And if that spirit goes forth not in life, it is condemned to do so after death. You are fettered. Tell me, why? I bear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I girded it of my own free will, and of my own free will I wore it. Is its pattern strange to you? Or would you know the weight and length of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was full as heavy and as long as this one 7 Christmas Eves ago. You have labored on its sense. It is a ponderous chain. Oh, good Jacob Marley, tell me more. I cannot rest. I cannot linger anywhere. In life I never walked beyond our counting house, never roved beyond the narrow confines of our money-changing hole. And now weary journeys lie before me. 7 years dead and walking all the time? The whole time! No rest, no peace, incessant torture of remorse. Well, you might have got over a great quantity of ground in 7 years. Captive bound and double-ironed not to know that any Christian spirit, working kindly in its little sphere, whatever it may be, is sure to find its mortal life too short for its vast means of usefulness. Not to know that no space of regret can make amends for one life's opportunity misused. Yet such was I. Oh, such was I. Oh, but you were always a good man of business, Jacob. Business! Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business. How it is I appear before you in a shape that you can see, I may not tell. I have sat invisible beside you many and many a day. That is no light part of my penance. I am here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate. Oh, you were always a good friend to me, Jacob. You will be haunted by 3 spirits. Is that the chance and hope you mentioned, Jacob? It is! Well, I think I'd rather not. Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first when the clock strikes 1. Well, couldn't I have them all at once and have it over with? Look to see me no more. Look, too, that for your own sake you remember what has passed between us.